What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. If any of you saw that mess up on my video today, I apologize for that. My editing skills are something to be desired. Then, to be honest with you, ever since I started doing YouTube, I just feel like I'm just super behind in everything. Yeah, so it does take a lot of time, more time than I thought it did. So I'm still trying to sort out my own strategies and ways to, like, my own systems. So anyhow, I will try to keep my clips in order on this video. So today we're going to do a what sold video. I do have a bunch of sales, and I'm filming this Wednesday evening, Wednesday late night. I want to get this video done, get these packaged up. I'm going to my shipper tomorrow, and then I'll have in the morning I'll film anything that's sold in the morning, and then I'll add it all together and put this video up Thursday afternoon. So let's start off with a patch, easy to ship, $14 including shipping, going to Canada. And not much to say about that, except I love shipping some patches. Bought some patches off of Facebook Marketplace today. I don't have them up here, but nothing special, but easy bread and butter stuff. This Japanese fashion magazine, it's called Pop Teen. This sold probably for more than you might think. I always buy things like this, and there's always going to be a market for foreign magazines. It's in really good condition. This sold for $25. I picked up like 13 issues of these at a Savers. Paid like a buck each. And yeah, slow sellers, but yeah, 1 into 25, I'll take that. Sold 3 comics, nothing special. Sandman, probably one of the greatest Vertigo comics ever. Have not watched the series on Netflix. Some random independent comic called Nameless, and Milk and Cheese. Something that was interesting about this order, I want to ask you guys if you've ever ran into this. So the buyer bought these 2, and the shipping and handling didn't combine properly. So he had an overage of $6 and change. So I said to him, I'm going to be refunding you unless you want to pick something else out for that amount or more, and then we can figure out the difference. And I said, just make an offer on anything if you see, and we'll go from there. So he said, hey, he's like, I found, so, oh, this is actually 2 comics, by the way. So this was $6 and like 25 cents, or maybe it was $5.75. Regardless, there was a quarter difference. And he said, hey, I am interested in the Milk and Cheese set that you have up. I actually wrote this down. He said he could make an offer, but it defaults to a credit card prepay. So I guess I'll just take the refund. So whatever message he got when he tried to make an offer, it's as if it was saying that, and I think we as sellers, we complain that we want payment to take place immediately. And I'm thinking that this is what was happening, is that the system was saying, if you make this offer and he accepts, it's going to automatically charge your card. Is that how you guys interpret that? Because I mean, I don't buy things, so I've never gotten this message. I could make an offer, but it defaults to a credit card prepay. So I guess I'll just take the refund. Essentially, I almost lost that sale. So I messaged him back. I'm like, hey, the amounts are basically the same. You don't actually need to make an offer. You already have that overpay. I'll just refund you a quarter. Because that was essentially the difference in his favor. And he's like, oh, okay. So I guess my point in saying this is, We have to be, as sellers, we have to be the problem solvers. We have to work around any inflexibilities that the system has or doesn't have. And yeah, you know, I don't want to lose a sale over, you know, either the buyer's inability to complete the transaction or eBay's inability to allow the buyer to complete that transaction. It's only $6, right? But I didn't even tell you what these sold for. So everything sold for $16. So these first two, no, these two were 16, and then this was another 6. So it nearly jumped the percentage up of the total order by like 35%. And you know, you do that you know, time and time again, it adds up. And I always want to try to get my per package profit up. You know, it saves me from, like, if somebody would have came around and bought each of these individually, that's more work for me. I have to ship 3 separate orders, so I would always rather them go in one order. Few more comics. Nothing special on these, just this lot sold for 23. It's an Avengers, and Injustice, Gods Among Us. This is I believe this was a video game, Injustice, Gods Among Us, that they turned into a comic. These sold for 23. And then, let's see here. A couple more patches sold. This was a really good sale. These 3 patches combined sold for $38. That Rothman's Rally of New Zealand. I bought a ton of like Canon Williams Grand Prix, all these race car patches. I bought like hundreds of them off of Marketplace. So $38. And I have duplicates of them, and I tried to upsell him because sometimes people they want multiples of the same patch. But so a strategy that I use is I don't always put multiples even though I have multiples, because I don't want people to think that I have so many of them that they can make me lower offers, because in their minds they're thinking, oh, he has so many, he's going to accept a lower price. So all of those just sold for my asking price, less any sale that they might have went in. So sometimes I will put multiples up, but sometimes no. And that's the reason why. It's all about marketing. This Espa Natural Beauty Pro Cleanser, I have no idea what this is. This sold for $20. I actually, when I got 2 Veros in a very short time a few months ago, I took down so many things that, like healthcare stuff, you know, anything that could potentially have an expiration date. I took down so much stuff. I don't know how that one didn't get taken down, or anything that's not sealed as well. I know eBay, they can crack down on beauty products that are not sealed. They view them as being used. They also view it as they don't know what's in it. You know, we bad sellers, we fill it up with something that's not what it's supposed to be. I don't know. But anyhow, so I took a lot of stuff down, and I basically, anything that I have left in my inventory, I try to sell locally. Haunted Horror sold for $18. I love these old. So this is actually a reprint of the old EC horror comics, but this one is in really, really high grade. I would view this as like a 9.6, which, if you're unfamiliar with comics, a 9.8 is essentially the highest. A 10 is the highest, but you just don't ever get a 10. It's a very comic-centric theme, but this is the last one. This Futurama comic sold for $8. I accepted an offer. It's got some spine ticks. It's not perfect. I just saw that there's some news about Futurama. I think maybe the series might be continuing. I don't know. I just literally just saw it like 2 minutes before I started filming this. So yeah. I sold this for 10 bucks. What is it, you might ask? This useless piece of plastic. It is the boom of this Barbie Sun Sailor boat. I picked this up. So I picked this up months ago, and it was incomplete, and so I basically parted it out. So I paid $7 for the entire thing, and I just figured I'd get more money selling it. You know, people out there who have it and they need pieces. So this one piece sold and made more money to cover my original cost. And I have, like, I can't remember how many pieces it was missing. I probably had 70% of it. So this was the first piece that sold out of it. So it's a, you know, slow, long tail thing, but I'm okay with that. All right, so these 3 posters, these, I'm showing you these now. Old horror posters. These are flawless. I bought a whole bunch of beer advertising from a beer salesman who basically, that's what he did from the 80s until the early 2000s, and he had all this stuff, and I just bought everything. I probably have 50 sets of these that are still attached to the, whatever you call it. They're still lying flat. They've never been rolled up. These 3, so I have these listed on eBay, but I also have them listed locally. A woman is going to be picking these up, I think, on Friday, so I just wanted to show you these now for $45. These sold, these Mission Impossible posters. Those sold for $41, full price, except for, I think it might have been in the sale. Now, what was interesting, and I really thought for sure I was going to be able to upsell him, because these are the original posters that were in the movie theater. I bought a whole bunch of original posters from somebody who worked in a movie theater. I discovered this a few weeks ago. I showed this in a haul video. So this is the 3rd poster of this Rogue Nation. And this one you could only get if you went to an IMAX theater. So this one's more rare than these. And I thought for sure I was going to be able to upsell him on that one. But no dice. He only wanted the 2. I tried. Okay, so this Arbonne Sea Source Detox Spa Salts. This sold for $30, including shipping inside Canada to Canada. So yeah, I bought this at a garage sale. It's they're all the individual packets are sealed. So I'll be getting creative with mailing these. I'm not going to send them in the box. I'm going to send them a different way. A local sale today. So I had duplicates of these. So these aren't the 2 that sold, but they're the exact same cups. So these are vintage Old Bailey glasses. These sold for $20 for the pair. And I've had these for a while. And the woman, she was just like, she was looking all over for these. She like when she went on vacation, she was looking. She's from Eastern Canada, and she messages me, but she was here on the West Coast visiting family, so she looked up on Craigslist and she found them, and she was just thrilled. It's just the joy of selling for me is like getting the product into the hands of the people who cannot find it anywhere else, and they're just so ecstatic to be able to find it. It was a gift for her son. We had this nice long chat. She was a reseller as well. Not my competition. She sells salt and pepper shakers. That's something I've never sold. Not because I have anything against salt and pepper shakers, but and then the last sale that I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to, was there something else I wanted to ask you? Yes, I have a thought. I have a question that I want to ask you guys. When you send out offers and then people counter you, do you find it difficult to actually find those counters? Because it's not like a normal counter where if you're on your phone, you'll see the little message, or if you're on your that desktop, you'll see a notification in the top right. Those counters to your offers show up just in your mail, but you're not prompted to see them at all. Like, don't you guys find that? And correct me if I'm wrong, maybe it's just me, but I find that incredibly difficult, especially like sometimes things are time sensitive, right? Sometimes you do need to make that sale right away because they're shopping, they're looking, they're sending other offers out. I don't know why eBay doesn't include that as a notification like it always does on every other offer or any other offer. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like the functionality, like there's always room to be better. And not only that, I was thinking about this. I noticed that when they send you a counter to your offer that you sent, normally it shows the area, like the country and the state of where it's at. But it doesn't. It just shows the username. And then if you want to, then you've got to click on the username and go to their page to find out where they're at. It can make a difference. So my listings are set up to ship for people in Canada and US to purchase. I don't have any other international countries set up. If somebody from another international country wants to come buy from me, they have to message me first, and I kind of have to okay it. And I do that because I want to have control over where my packages go, because of the way my shipping is set up. My shipping is set up. It's a specific price. I know how much something is going to cost to ship either to Canada or to US based on the size and the weight. But now, also, we have to start factoring in, I'm in Washington on my US store, and if something is going to Florida, if somebody is countering an offer and they're in Florida versus somebody who's in California, it's going to make a difference, based on how low their counter is relative to how much it's going to cost to ship there, or how much that profit is going to eat into, how much that cost of that extra shipping is going to eat into my profit. It's going to make a difference. So it would be nice. I guess I should have a segment of like eBay wish lists. And this would be an eBay wish list, is the notifications when somebody makes a counter for them to actually show up. Doesn't that make sense to you guys, or does that make too much sense? And then secondly, for a little bit more information about the buyer to pop up so we can better make a decision about whether or not we want to accept that counter or counter that counter. All right, enough rambling. Last sale that I'm going to show you tonight is this little Mexican Detali's Annie doll. It's pretty adorable, actually. The packaging is a little rough. I had this listed for $51. Somebody came in and made an offer for $35. And I was like, I had my shipping a little off on this. I don't know what I was thinking. It was probably late one night listing. Sell similar on one of my own listings, and then wasn't paying attention. I do a lot of things wrong, guys. I am not the model seller. I countered at 43, kind of like halfway. I mean, countering is like it's like something that nobody ever does anymore. It's like the buyers almost expect you to just accept whatever offer they throw at. But I was like, all the other ones out there, I was already the cheapest at 51. And so I was like, but I had to account for the packaging. I threw the counter back at 43 and he accepted. I was surprised, but I mean, it's pretty cute. It's still attached in the box. So yeah. All right, guys, decent sales. I'm going to get packaging and I will see you guys tomorrow morning with the second part of this. And then, yeah, talk to you later. Local sale of 7 Harry Potter books and a DVD set that is going to sell for $60. I did not pay anything for any of these. My son-in-law was cleaning out his attic and they're moving and he just wanted me to donate these, so I threw them up on Craigslist and sure enough somebody picked them up. Hey guys, it is now Thursday afternoon, and I'm rushing a little bit, but I want to talk to you about the totals of my solds and the few things that sold overnight, an upsell that I have in the works, and a negative feedback that I got. And I want to discuss that and talk about what happened. It was totally my fault. Let's just start there. I got a negative feedback yesterday, and there's really nothing that I can do to dispute it because it is my fault. I basically slapped the wrong label on something and sent it out. So I actually messed up 2 orders. The first one, he was totally cool with it. I realized something was wrong, and I contacted the buyer, and it was for a hat. And he was like, it happens. It's not a big deal. So I was actually able to cancel that order. And I actually didn't know where I sent the hat to. And then I found out yesterday the person who was supposed to get a shot glass got a hat. Now the messed up thing is I actually don't know where the shot glass is. So I don't know if there's another problem that's coming. And I believe that what had happened was before I learned how to, start adding different clips together in a video, I would hold all my orders of what sold and then do a video, and then I would, have to package them all. And that's not generally how I do things. Like before I started YouTube, I would do just as the orders would come in, I would package them to avoid mistakes like this. So in a way, the fact that I have a YouTube channel, it actually caused me to probably get my first negative in 11 years on my account. Kind of bummed out about that. Also kind of just frustrated about the whole feedback system. I just think it's so, they left the feedback and obviously I'm going to address it. Now it was like a $7 shot glass. And I would say there's like a 5% chance at this time that it might get reversed. Like they might revise it. Like, so basically I contacted them. I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry about this. Totally my mistake. I go, I would like the opportunity to fix this. So here's what I offered. Well, I immediately refunded them. I'm like, I'm sorry, obviously, you didn't get what you wanted, and I'm very sorry. And it was for a gift. So I have found that people who buy things for eBay for a gift are more likely to be extremely harsh on feedback. I'll address that in a little bit. So I'm like, in addition to that, pick out anything from either of my stores for $40 and I'll ship it to you for free. So it's like 3 times more. Actually, I think it's almost 4 times more. Pick something out. And I already had gone out and found that exact same shot glass that another eBay was selling, and I contacted them and I'm like, hey, if I buy this, can you ship this to this address? And he was like, yes. So I said to the seller and the buyer, and I'll buy you the exact same shot glass and have it shipped to your house. So I am like, bending over backwards, trying to perform like the best customer service. Now, I know that if it was me and somebody was willing to do that, of course I'm going to accept that, because in the sheer, like, if it was truly me doing that, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to pick something out for $40 and probably resell it. So I'll get the money back, I'll get the shot glass, and I'll get my original purchase, you know, all for just that seller making a mistake. Of course I'm going to accept that for, you know, in exchange for revising it. I even was like, you don't even need to revise it to positive, just a neutral, you know, because feedback, this is the problem. This is another problem with eBay, and I have no problem with being harsh on this, is that the whole feedback system is effed. Like, it's meant to be, a negative feedback is meant to be when somebody does something like maliciously, or, you know, they're rude, or, you know, they make no effort to fix the situation. Like, we're all human. Like, so it's ridiculous that the buyers have that much control over us. This is like another, you know, continuing the thoughts that I was sharing the other day about local and online. You know, this is another reason why, you know, selling local, I think, is just, it's so much, there's so many benefits. Now, obviously, the pros to shipping online, you can get better prices and you have a wider audience. That's it. Those are the only two pros. So yes, you're always, as a reseller, you're always going to be, you're going to need the online aspect, because there's just things that you can sell for a premium that you can't sell locally and get that premium, or you have to wait. And nobody wants to wait forever for sales. Yes, there's a time where you put something up and you know it's going to take a while to sell, but then there's times when you kind of want to get sales. Like, you've got to have X amount of sales just to survive every day. So, like, having to deal with customers and having to deal with the power that they lord over you, it's, and this person, maybe they're a brand new buyer. So maybe I was like their first experience. Like, they literally have a 1 beside their thing. So maybe they don't even realize the impact of a negative feedback. You know, they literally put in a comment, how do I fix this? So I don't know if I don't know what's going on in their head, because they haven't responded. So I sent them a message yesterday, and then I sent them a message today. And, you know, there's really, at this point, if I don't hear back from them in 3 days, I'm just going to respond to the feedback, you know, say, yeah, total my mistake. Here's what I offered the buyer, blah, 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 blah. Never heard back from them. Nothing I can do at this point, right? Like, but it's just frustrating that the way the feedback system works is like that. There's no, like, there should be some sort of period in time that the sellers have a chance to make it right before the buyer can leave feedback. It shouldn't just be like, wow, you know, they get it, they're mad, they're angry, they change it, and then at that point they're just deep in their stance. Kind of annoying, you know, that. And then I had wrote a few more items down in terms of you know, local versus online, you know, not having to deal with returns. I don't deal with returns, but I hear people complaining about returns all the time, you know, buyer's remorse, blah, 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 blah. People, you know, trying to scam them and send them back something. Like, just that whole system needs to be revised. Difficult buyers, which I would kind of classify what I'm going through as a difficult situation. It's not necessarily he's a difficult buyer. I don't know that for a fact yet, because he's never responded. And then Veros are just a huge, and that's a good segue into one of the items that I sold last night. And I'm going to give you the totals too of my sales. So if you're new to this video, generally what I do is I try to do what sold from video. So what sold from the last time I did a what sold video until current. So I showed you guys this already. It was a Sea Source Detox Spa. They're like these little packets. It's brand new. They're all sealed. The box is open. But so I contacted the person and I'm like, hey, you know, if you want to add anything. And she asked me if I had this Arbonne Sea Source Detox Spa. And I bought these at a thrift store a little while ago. Now, when I went through some Vero issues a couple months back, I took down tons of my house stuff, including I took this one down because it's opened, but I don't know as if it ever was sealed because of the top that it has. But this experience that I'm about to share with you is kind of it's a bit of a hack. If you have merchandise that you're afraid to list on eBay, what I did was, I'm like, I do have actually what you are looking for. And we agreed on a price. So this is going to sell for 30 bucks. No free shipping, because it's not going to cost me any more shipping to add it to the original purchase. They sell from anywhere between 40 and 55. But because I can't, and I communicated this with the buyer, I'm like, you know, I do have this. I bought it secondhand. I don't know if it's opened. Well, it is open, but I don't know if it was ever sealed. I took pictures of what was left. I'm like, it looks full to me. It smells amazing. They sell from 40 to 55 pretty regularly. I'll give you 30. So then when I created the listing, I created it special listing for, and then I put the user's name on it. They actually haven't purchased it yet, but they want to. So I'm classifying this as a sale, and if something falls through, I'll give you guys an update later. But yeah, so I actually didn't even so I was concerned about it being kind of like opened, and eBay really frowns upon any sort of healthcare products that are not completely sealed. So it is new, but yeah, I mean, I just can't really verify that. So then instead of putting Arbonne and doing all that, I just put special order. I just put like a very generic description, and then I took pictures because the buyer already knows what they're buying, and I sent them the link. This how to play ragtime guitar, small sale for $8. Nothing great. Paid probably 50 cents for this at a thrift store a while ago. Actually, having seen and looked through this, I kind of wish I would have taken just some time to look through this, because I'm trying to I started to learn how to play guitar, and it's taken forever because I've had some issues with my elbow. I was actually starting to make decent progress 3 or 4 months ago, and then I pretty much had to stop. Now I feel like I forgot everything, and I haven't really got back into it, but that's something that I do want to get back into. It's just a small dinky 3 comic lot. Nothing special about these X-Men comics. They're all part of this Age of Apocalypse storyline. That's why I grouped them together. $6. I mean, nothing. And then this is I listed this on eBay, and I have somebody, it's a Robert Bateman print, and it has a certificate of authenticity. I don't know exactly what's going on with this. I'm not marking this as a sale yet because the guy wants to buy it, but he can't pick it up until the weekend or next week. But I listed it on eBay, and I listed it locally, and in 2 days I've got a local person who's already interested in it. So yeah, I mean, you can list things locally and have a quicker response than you might have on eBay, and to me that blows my mind. It questions why, is eBay's search function completely whacked? I don't know. Okay, so the total since the last video, I believe that was 2 days ago, I sold 14 items on eBay for $327, 2 local for $100, the 2 local yesterday, no, not 100, 80. It was those 2 cups and the Harry Potter books. So the total would be $407. So 16 items at $407. Now, how did I do that? 5 of the items were 5 of the items were promoted and the rest were organic. So I'm liking the fact that my promoted are less. And so, yeah, I think that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Give you guys the update, tell you that crappy story about the feedback that it's looking like it's gonna set with me for the next year, and I need to just, you know, be better. It happens, and you know, hopefully you guys, you know, I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do YouTube and how to do eBay, and not feel rushed, not feel overwhelmed, because as I said earlier, like the YouTube does take more time than I thought. I gotta basically, once I get off this video, I need to jump in the car, take my stuff to the shippers, because my wife's gonna need the car soon. She's got an appointment, so I'll upload this video when I get back. Go build your empire, guys. Go do it. You know, I know times are slow, and you know, this is the path that we have taken as resellers. So talk to you guys later.